Hey guys, so it's actually only 10:09. I was coming on at 10:10. So I'm actually just going to cleanse my energy here while I'm waiting for people to hop on. So if you are hopping on with me, just taking a cleansing breath. Even if you are watching this on the replay, please say hello in the comments. As you can see, there's lots of snow on the trees behind me today. And for people, sorry if it's a little dark here, for people that don't know, these are tinctures. So I use tinctures as a form of sound healing. And if you want to go on to robinshealing.com underneath my blog, you can read a bit more up on sound healing. Okay. I'm also today working with my angel oracle cards. So if you would like a card, you're more than welcome to ask a question whenever I'm live, or ask for a message, or ask for a card. So these are the benefits of attending live sessions. And for people that don't know, I am going, so Emily is saying, hello, Robin. Hello. Thanks for commenting. Really appreciate it. For people that don't know, tonight, underneath my Robin's Healing business page on Facebook, I'm going to be doing live readings at 6 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. So it's currently 10:11 here. So that gives you an idea of time zones, okay? Keeping in mind that you're watching this live. Okay, that card's jumping out to us. So today, I kind of feel like there's a lot going on, okay? Because when we have Mercury retrograde energy coming in, starting tomorrow until February 3rd, this means that it really is a time, okay, they're talking to us. It really is a time for slowing down. So we hear this all the time in healing, like self-care, self-love, that sort of thing. But Mercury retrograde happens 4 times a year, okay? And it usually lasts about 20 days. So I know a lot of people dread it. And so that's why I'm kind of coming on here and talking to you guys about these things, okay? And then we also have a full moon coming up on the 17th. So that's in Cancer as well. So you're going to be finding that it's a little intense with Mercury retrograde and the full moon, starting off, right, our year in January of 2022. So please make sure also that you're subscribed to this channel if you're watching. And then if you click the bell button, you'll get notifications when I do come on live, okay? It's just really helpful. Okay, that feels like we have enough cards. So again, these are the angel cards that I'm using. Okay, ooh, my nails kind of match. And also, I have a product line where I sell herbs and teas and magic and things like that. So if that's something you're interested in booking a consult with me for, it's also through robinshealing.com. They're 30 minutes and they're free, and we can discuss maybe how I can help you on a deeper level with some of those things also, okay? All right, so let's see what comes up here as we talk about Mercury retrograde. There's going to be a touch of the full moon. We're also going to be talking about the energy of the 13th specifically today, and anyone else that's asking a question, okay? So astrology is the first message that is coming through, okay? So I can probably shift my lighting a little better. But so astrology is the word that's coming through, and it's interesting that was coming through with a reading with someone I did a couple of days ago, and they were like, I said, does astrology mean anything to you? And she's like, well, I like astrology, but she's like, but my mom's really into astrology. And so the word kind of triggered more information about her connection to her mother. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm getting for you guys, is just pay closer attention to the words and the symbols underneath the words. And if you don't share the words that you're feeling, or you don't share the symbols that you're connecting to, then you're kind of minimizing the quality of your life, basically. I don't want to make it sound so dramatic, but it kind of is really important for the people watching anyway to start connecting to that. So that feels more like a combination of all the energy that you're experiencing right now. So, pay attention to your triggers as well, like what's bothering you. And that came up in the weekly reading as well, if you didn't watch that. Okay. So taking action, those downloads, then pay attention to them because those downloads are there to help you. And when you're helping yourself, essentially you're helping other people. Okay. So that feels important. That's kind of a powerful card. I'm also connecting to the lime green, which again, I have a connection to lime green through mother energy. So you're going to be finding that there's a lot of mother energy coming up around today, and over the next, I'm even feeling few months. So when I say mother energy, this might be your grandmother, this might be your mother, a mother-in-law, you being a mother, you working with that feminine moon energy, because the moon cycles are the lunar cycles are actually a time of nurturing and honoring those emotions. So, how can we take better care of ourselves during times where, with Mercury retrograde, there's a push and a pull, right? Just like with the full moon, the tides are affecting us. So, if you're feeling like you need to open up a little bit more, maybe this would be a good time to get some healing, get some help, get some support if you need it. Okay. So, again, if you have questions, feel free to ask. I'm getting a heaviness in my chest as well. So that tells me there might be, again, with the greens and the yellows, some need to do more chest openers. So heart openers, more breath work, more letting go of things that are, again, bothering you. With the yellow, adaptability, personal power. If we're feeling that tension, if we're hanging on to past issues, then it's going to we're actually going to feel it in our breathing, right? If you feel panicky, stuff like that. So this is more the working from the heart. Okay. So if you're finding that you're working with people, or you're around people who are very greedy or selfish or a narcissist, as I was already sharing in my Facebook video this morning, um, these are people that are going to be triggering you a lot, because there's going to be additional conflict with Mercury retrograde and a full moon. So I typically wouldn't say avoid people, but be mindful of who is nurturing, who is calming to you, and who isn't. And this is really great advice for me as well, because I know who my triggers are, but sometimes we don't pre-plan. So with Mercury retrograde, this is about really getting ahead of the game, because you're going to find that there's going to be, it feels like, more outbursts. And especially during COVID, we want to be mindful of that as well, right? Because there's already additional stress, which brings us into the obsidian grounding shielding, which is kind of what we were just talking about with the herbs, with the sound healing. It's incorporating those new tools into your life. So if you think about a new tool that you need to help you with all of these stressors, it might be like working with crystals on a deeper level, really learning about, what crystals do I need to bring into my space in order to be less affected if I'm an empath by these triggers on people, if I can't change my circumstances, right? If this is out of my control. And it's really important to, I think, identify when you're absorbing other people's energy versus what's yours and what someone else's. Okay, so there's a process to that. Today, I'm actually teaching a Reiki level 1 at half price because I committed to teaching someone. And so that's today at 1:30. It's 2 hours. And if you want to hop into that class, if you're feeling spontaneous, it's Atlantic Standard Time again. So you can just reach out to me and join in. I think it's going to be really awesome. If you like card readings and healing tools, that would be the place to find me. Okay. All right. So the heaviness feels like it's shifting, which brings us into creativity, orange. Okay. So orange is, as we were just talking about, that empath side, right? A person who might be triggered a little extra when we have moon work, right? When we go to do our shadow work, we'll say. So it's important as well that when it comes to your diet as well, that you're not adding fuel to the fire. So as I said, so lots of self-care right now, absolutely, but you wanna eat, high energy foods, you wanna eat grounding foods, things like that, right? You wanna stay hydrated, and so when you go to do, we'll say, theta healing, something like that, I typically do theta healing in the majority of my sessions. It's important that you are also flushing out the energy within your body and not hanging on to it, right? So often when we have fluid in our body, it can typically represent that something is annoying us or something's inflamed, right? That's the emotional stuff. So somebody needed to hear that specifically. And also, if you want to, you can just rub your hands together and just create a little bit of energy here with me if you want to. You can even put your hands just to like your stomach and root, chest, throat. Just checking in, just offering a little bit of grounding to yourself right now might be helpful if this is the only work that you're going to be doing on yourself today. And when we go into the number 13 as well, for the energy of today, 13 is kind of a powerful number. Some people find 13 an unlucky number. Some people find 13 is like it's an active number, okay? So it's how we're looking at things. So you can look at Mercury retrograde as well, coming in as, oh God, oh no. Or you can look at it as like, oh cool, this is an opportunity for me to do some reflection, things like that. So pay close attention to that as well. Today I'm wearing my green aventurine, I believe, earrings, which represent good luck and really working on that heart. So I'm like, okay, I know Mercury retrograde's here, so I'm going to wear my good luck stones and I'm going to cleanse a lot. I'm going to do my daily practices. I'm going to make sure I'm engaging with people who need this as well. Okay. So really what I'm getting there is just to listen to your own thoughts. Are you setting intentions? Are you creating? Are you activating? Right? Because where you're getting probably a lot of downloads at around this time, yes, you're activating, which means you're changing, shifting. So you want to expand that energy and release it. Right? So maybe the Reiki class would be good for you today. So if you're hopping on, feel free to say hello. We have self-inventory, wanting moon. Okay. So I kind of get here that to quiet the mind a little bit more as well. So if that's taking time for you to let your mind just relax. So it might be just like gazing out of the window, doing some form of releasing, things like that. So if you have any healing tools yourself, maybe today would be a great day to start identifying with what's bothering you and just allowing yourself to move, as I was already saying, move the energy. So if you can already start to see a theme, we're getting to move energy, right? To cleanse ourselves extra and to really strengthen our bond with the earth. Okay, so we have stairs, which says direction and timing. Okay, so trusting that you're on here for a reason as well. If you're drawn to me, you're drawn to this because there are probably messages in here. And again, tonight at 6 p.m. through my Facebook, you'll be able to do more question answer card pulls as well. Something I'm just doing to see if the time is good. So a big thing, as we were already talking about, is what is in your control and what is out of your control, right? As we were talking a lot about the chest and our breath, you have control over your breath if you apply the tools. But it takes a little bit of practice. So that's what I'm getting is, like for me, for instance, I'm doing daily readings every single day here on YouTube. I'm not doing them live, but I'm going to make sure that they're out every morning so you guys can get some consistency in watching the dailies and starting to get invited into that type of energy. Okay, so I'll always be sending you good energy when you come on here. That's more what I'm talking about is getting into that rhythm and in that cycle. So if you have an issue, you're working on it, right? Probably related to your 2021. Okay. Completion. Okay, so this is especially where I was coming on today at 10:10, which is the number of completion. And today is our last day before we go into retrograde. Again, take care of those things that you know, or not saying it's going to happen, but stuff is probably going to happen because it always does during retrograde, right? So we don't want to expect the worst, but we also want to be prepared. So today is the ending of kind of like anything you would be needing to clean up. Okay, especially where we're walking into a weekend. So today, make sure you're just taking extra good care of yourself. Honestly, that's what it's mainly about. Okay. Also, if you're underneath my Be Pure Natural products through Instagram or Facebook, and you've been watching any of my posts, you would know that I'm shifting everything over to Robin's Healing. So, all my Be Pure Natural products stuff and discussions will be on here, Facebook and Instagram. Okay. So, balance, Hawthorne. Okay. And feel free to share if you want to anything that jumps out for you. To me, these look like Mayflowers, and I have a connection to my family with Mayflowers, right? As we were talking about the mother energy, the feminine energy, and the earth. I get family, okay? So pay close attention as well to what your family is up to. Are they staying on top of their energy practices? Are they taking care of their health? Because if you're I keep getting the word X, okay, so if you are around people who aren't open or honest as well, that's what I'm getting, then it makes it really hard for you to be open and honest, right? So say I'm like being super open here and you're watching, but you're not communicating. That makes it challenging for me because I could open up even more if I had someone like communicating, right? So that's the difference between someone being open and somebody being closed. So that's just an example. So it doesn't mean that you're not honest as much as you might even notice, like when you're around people that have fears, those fears might be amplified in you. So if someone is around you and they have a broken heart, well, it's going to be, especially as an empath, it might be kind of challenging to be around those people. So it doesn't mean to stop being around these people, but again, go back into your medicine and the things that we use to help us. Okay, so you might want to book a consult if that connects to you. Boundaries, caution makes sense as we were talking about. Some people are super open and honest. Some people are just really blocked. And so to know the difference. Okay, so for instance, you're in a grocery store, somebody holds the door for you, and you're like, oh my gosh, thank you, and they're like, no problem, like it's all good, and then they let the next person go too because they're like really patient and kind. And then the next store that you go to, somebody drops the door because they're nervous of the germs on the handle, and they just drop it in your face, right? And you're like, oh, that was a little like rude. But the compassion is really important for the people who are struggling, right? And the appreciation for the people who are healing you and helping you. Okay. So all of those things are going to be significant at this time. Please let me know if you like this by clicking the like button. And also if this is something you feel other people would benefit from, let them know, reach out to your friends and your people. And I will see some of you maybe at 6 p.m. tonight. I did post an event for this underneath Facebook. So if you go and find that event, actually, I'll put the event in the link below. That would be the easiest thing. If you click on that link and you say that you're going, then when I go live, I'm going to be going live in that event. Okay. So if you haven't already said going, if you haven't clicked on the event, again, that's where you're going to be able to find me. And it's really important. And it's also awesome because then I can get some insight on how many people I'm going to have in my space so I can prepare my space ahead of time. All right. Love you guys so much. Maybe you'll join me for that Reiki one today. I know it's last minute, but I'd love to see you there. Bye-bye. Take care.